I'm sorry, wait, I said David after Major. It was so long ago that I...
Back to the fraction, 5%, a fraction of those people are going to have to pay more. It may be a better policy, but they're going to have to pay more. We've started to hear what the president's going to say. Well, what would the message be to somebody who's, say, paid $1,500 a year? Now it's going to have to pay $2,000 a year. I mean, they're going to have to pay more out of their pocket, which is not what the president told them.
Well, I'm not sure which statement from the past you're referring to. The fact is the president spoke yesterday and in Boston about that a portion of those folks who's if they're on the individual market now and their plan isn't grandfathered in, it's because their insurer changed the plan and downgraded it, made it even less compliant with the affordable. So let's remember that, and when you report that, I urge you to make that clear. The fact is, as the president said, a subsection of that slice will potentially pay more because they earn too much to qualify for either Medicaid or a tax credit, and they're getting substantially better coverage than they currently have. And the cost in the front end will be higher for that portion that might be paying higher premiums. Again, a slice of 5%. But the overall cost for them will potentially be lower because they have better coverage, which will improve their health outcomes and potentially reduce their overall health coverage.
That's not what the president told them 2 years ago.
I'm not sure what it is you're...
Well, if you have your insurance and you like it,
David, one second. You're confusing two things. The president never said that somebody who goes without insurance but can afford it would be paying less or the same, i.e. nothing. If you're somebody who, if you're 30 and you're a young invincible and maybe you're making decent money but you've just decided not to buy insurance, yeah, you're now required to buy insurance. So obviously, unless you qualify for Medicaid, even if you're paying $50 a month, and a lot of young Americans will pay that little, that you'll be paying more. So he never said that everybody would pay less. That's if you're saying that's what he said, I don't think you could find that.
And you said that these insurance companies have stripped these out and these are junk policies. These insurance companies were offering some coverage to these individuals who found that that was what they wanted.
They found that that's all they had.
But that's what they wanted. A woman who doesn't want to have children doesn't have to have maternity care, doesn't need insurance for that. Now she has to have it. She couldn't keep the policy that she had and she liked.
Well, David, this goes to the discussion that I just had with Major. We absolutely accept the charge that we believe there ought to be minimum standards of coverage. Preventive services, mental health services, maternity care, a ban on lifetime care, because it's not just there isn't a plan out there that a female American purchased on the individual market that doesn't meet that meets all of the minimum standards except for not applying maternity care. You know that doesn't exist. These plans overwhelmingly have carve-outs. They have caps. They don't cover hospitalization. This is an area of the market that is not one that we want to emulate or expand if we want to improve health care and health outcomes in this country. But going back to my basic point, yes, we believe in the Affordable Care Act makes law that there should be minimum standards for basic health care coverage, health insurance coverage. And if you had a plan that did not meet those minimum standards and your insurance company hasn't downgraded it in the interim, you can keep it. It's grandfathered in forever if you want to keep it and choose not to avail yourself of other options and better coverage. But look, I think it's worth studying if you're going to do reporting on the individual market, studying what we're and one of the reasons why that area of the insurance market so desperately needed reform is because it was the area where insurers could so easily take advantage of consumers because consumers had so few options. They had a chronic pre-existing condition. They had maybe one carrier in their area that could offer them coverage. They did not have the options that are now available to them through the Affordable Care Act.
You said that